Well, folks, it's another edition of the CFT for College Football 26, live in BVG Studios. I am that other guy alongside my illustrious broadcast partner, Brown, Phil, Game,
And hello once again. It's now Texas at Ole Miss. It's the game of the round as we move into round number 3. 22 ranked Texas going up against the 6th ranked Ole Miss Rebels. And it's going to be an SEC throwdown. Two teams 2-0. Trying to go 3-0 and undefeated as we move into the second half of the preliminary tournament.
Well, folks, it's two teams that, should be a pretty interesting matchup. Texas probably, I think, is the odds-on favorite. Ole Miss coming off a very abysmal try at last year's inauguration of the tournament, not winning one single game. This time has turned the tides, and they're looking way better than they did last year.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because when we look at Ole Miss, I know that last year they didn't look really strong, but they didn't have a TE like Has. I mean, a pretty outstanding tight end can definitely make himself really available and try to go for a lot of yardage. He's going to be a pretty good player to watch. He's really exciting and so athletic. I mean, he can really get over a lot of these cornerbacks. And so that's something, again, that I want you to pay attention to, some of these matchups that he may have to deal with. Speaking of Ole Miss, my question to you is this a real test for the Rebels? I mean, Texas, like you said, you giving them the early favorite. Why are you giving them the advantage?
I feel like, again, we have to go by both of these teams' trajectories last year. Texas made it all the way to the semifinals last year, whereas Ole Miss didn't even win a game. I think the only difference between last year and this year, Texas, the only thing I would give them a slight disadvantage is just Arch Manning has been very inconsistent lately. And luckily, he's had a defense to really, shoulder most of the load. With Ole Miss, they're a completely different team. I mean, like I said, they went from being, a doormat in the tournament to now being one of the odds-on favorites.
And look at that, a near big catch for the Rebels. But speaking of the defense of Texas, if there's one person I want to see, it's the middle. I want to see what's going on with the middle linebacker, Anthony Hill Jr. He's a 92 speed, 93 accuracy with a 90 awareness. He's a 95 overall. He's someone that can really try to stop the Texas offense, but Texas is going to get the ball back, and they're going to get it at the 28-yard line.
It's crazy that they went already 3-0 already, and Texas is already getting their first drive. As we see Convolius Winston, I mean, he could be the player to watch. What are your thoughts on Texas compared to where they were last year?
Well, look, I think that for Arch Manning in this game, he looks good when he goes up against a team that pressure him, and that's an excellent example of why you should look out for Texas. Because when you have Archie Manning with an 88 accuracy and a really good offensive line, he's going to take advantage of it, and that's going to be a Longhorns touchdown, and they're going to start off. Look at Wingo, the wide receiver number 1. I mean, if you look how ahead he was in that route, nobody could catch him, and he was able to go the distance.
That is crazy that their first play already went for 6, and this is only their first drive. If there's any indication, Ole Miss gonna have to lock in. It's gonna be a long game for them, but Texas is on the board first.
And hey, you called it as an early favorite, and here they are. We're already at 4:07 in the first quarter, and now they're gonna try to go for the extra point. If I was Ole Miss, I would take this as a learning lesson to not underestimate the power of the defensive line, because right there they were not wasting any time on a 72-yard drive. I mean,
this late in the tournament. This is not the time to play down the competition. You need all the points and all the wins that you can get, because one loss could be the reason why you get in or you are eliminated from playoff contention.
Well, I mean, this is a 2-0 matchup, so whoever loses here, they will be now at 2-1. The winner will just be one game closer to a playoff appearance.
Yeah, but you want to also keep your momentum.
It goes up the middle, and that's going to be a first down for the Rebels by Diggs. Diggs goes for 12 yards, and now they're at the 31.
It is now 1st and 10 with 3:50 left to go in the first quarter. Texas is up 7-0 over Ole Miss, and Ole Miss at home. I mean, the pack house here. What does Ole Miss have to do offensively to keep up with Texas?
I mean, we got to see what the quarterback is going to do. Chambliss has its moments, But he has to be able to connect, and that's where the wide receivers like Caden Lee, he's a 94 speed, a 93 agility, but if he has an open lane, he's going to take advantage of it with his 96 accuracy. So this is something that I want to see really coming out of the offense, but it's really a question of how he's going to conduct the quarterback. It's going to conduct the offense where you have a really tight defensive line. Speaking of which, looking at the halfback is going to get the first down, and that's going to be Taylor for 16 yards.
Yes, the chain's going to keep moving, and the crowd is hyped. As you can see, the run game again gets a really big hole, gets the extra 10, 15 yards. And do you think that their running game will have to be mixed up with their passing game in order to keep up with Texas high-power offense?
I mean, like, you got to shake it up. You got to make them get tired, make them work for it, and not make it so easy for them to make a quick 3 and out. But right there, that sack is not going to do any favors for the Rebels. That's now going to make it a loss of 4.
It's now 2nd and 14 as Cure Braveheart, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong,
Defensive tackle.
Gets the sack right at the quarterback. I don't know what the offensive line was doing. It's like they just let him through.
Well, that's going to put them pretty much at the 38-yard line. And they're going to try to see if they can try to go deep here. My prediction is you got to look out to the corners and see what's going to make a move.
No, they're going to keep it on the ground.
On the ground instead. I was wrong. And maybe they should have thrown it because that's another loss of 4. They're now at 3rd and 18.
Jesus, man. They're just going backwards. And it's now 3rd and long with 2:27 left to go in the first. The first quarter is going by pretty fast. So it's still anybody's game, but I mean, Ole Miss really got to step it up offensively because their line is not doing their quarterback any favors.
They're going to need something big. They're going to throw deep.
He's going deep.
And speaking of deep, it's going to go, and it's an incomplete pass, and that's going to be a 3 and out once again. Muhammad disappointed that he couldn't get it.
And the quarterback is furious.
Look at that.
I don't know why.
That should have been right in Muhammad's hands. And that should have been a pick.
Yeah, he's lucky that, he's got butterfingers. And Ole Miss is lucky that it wasn't picked, but it would have been an arm punt anyway. So it's now 4th and 18. They're going to punt it.
And now Texas is going to get the ball back. And they're going to try to stop it right there. And they'll be at the 24.
Stadium post is through the roof. This crowd's going crazy trying to get Ole Miss back in it as Texas goes on their second drive of the game.
Manning stays in the pocket, scans, and boom. And that's going to be near a first down. And that's going to put them up to 82 yards as they're 2nd and inches off the 34.
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. Texas is showing why they're the odds-on favorite. Ole Miss really got to clamp down on defense. They got to get to Arch. So far, Arch has been looking damn near unstoppable, but it's still early in this game, so, can't tell him what's going to happen.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Gets it to the
oh, my goodness.
Back, and the running back is going way into positive territory.
I mean, he almost went the distance. If he'd have got one extra block, he'd have been gone.
A very good first down for the Longhorns, and that's going to put them now at the 46.
1:20 left to go in the first quarter. Texas is firing all its cylinders, offense, defense. I mean, they're on the ground, they're in the air. It's like they can't do no wrong.
Yeah, you want to leave them knowing what hit them and make them always keep them guessing. It's weird how Manning, so clogged up, was able to get off a screen, but it doesn't get much other than 4 yards.
I mean, he almost got sacked, but at least he got the ball out. And like you said, only 4 yards with 55 seconds left to go in the first quarter. I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, Texas, I still keep them as the odds-on favorite, but I feel like it's still early. I don't want to throw away Ole Miss's chance, but they just got to do better getting the Arch.
Speaking of which, and that's going to be another first down, do you think Texas is a real legit team that is ranked 4th overall with a 2-0 record? Mind you, they beat UConn. That was a home game, 48-24. And they beat Army on the road, but that was a close game. That was 20-13. Do you think they're for real?
I think they want to show that what they did last year wasn't a fluke. Like I said, they got to the semifinals as he gets another first down. They got to the semifinals last year and lost in a heartbreaking close game. But all I can say is I think they're still legit. I think, yes, they won close games, but I think if they continue what they're doing, I think they could be one of the odds-on favorites to make it back to the dance.
Well, I mean, if they can get things done, then they'll need to rely on that passing game currently by Manning. They're over 100 yards as we move into the second quarter. And one other thing to keep in mind, this is an SEC throwdown, and it really begs the question, up to this point, do you think the SEC is the best team in the CFT, and that's a near first down. That puts them now at second and inches. Do you think that the SEC is arguably the best conference in this tournament? Or do you think of other conferences, let's say the Big Ten, they have a team in. The Big 12, they have a team that's still really doing well. And you have the Pac-2. Believe it or not, they do. What do you feel about the SEC versus the Big Ten, for instance?
I mean, a betting man would say the SEC because of who they have in the tournament and their success in the tournament.
And that's going to be a pretty big game. Well, not a big game, but a good enough game to put them at the 5-yard line as they're in the red zone.
Yes, the better man would say SEC because obviously the teams. I mean, Georgia won it last year, and we still got teams like Texas and Ole Miss and all these other teams. But let's not sleep on the other conferences, the Big Ten. Yeah, they only have one team, but sometimes always another touchdown.
And that's going to be another Texas touchdown. Puts them now to 14-0.
Ole Miss got to do something.
And right now, I mean, going back to the question, the two teams that you have to keep in mind is Ohio State and Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana's been on a roll lately in real life and in the CFT. And Ohio State. I mean, what else is to be said? They sound like world beaters. I mean, they can. I don't know. I just have no words for Ohio State. They're just unstoppable.
So here we are right now. Speaking of unstoppable, that was an unstoppable 8-play, 77-yard drive for 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Puts the game now to 4:02 in the second quarter. And Ole Miss is going to have to try to figure out a response before they move into the second half.
Yeah, it's already starting the second quarter, and Ole Miss really have to start doing something. I mean, they're already down by 2 possessions, but it's still only the first half. I don't want to count them out yet, but they got to start something. They got to build some momentum fast because this game can get away from them quickly if they don't do anything.
And now they're going to be playing off the 18-yard line. Number 6 passes it out, but doesn't get much of a gain, but 5. Puts them over to now.
I don't know why he's looking at the quarter. You threw it to him. I mean, you should look further down the field. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why you looking at the receiver like that.
Well, look, chemistry is always a thing that we have to keep in mind with players playing under pressure.
You may be right. 2nd and 5, 3:34 left to go in the first half. Man in motion. Quarterback gets the ball. It's going to be a play action, and he gets the ball.
Gets a connection. That's going to be a first down for the Rebels.
Pretty nice play. And it gets him about maybe 15 yards with 3:19 left to go.
Looks like they're going to try to keep it in the air. But in these mid passes, if you look at number 18, they try to get a good grip on him, but couldn't really hold on. And so now they're at the 36.
3:05 left to go. Quarterback drops back. He goes deep. Yeah! Oh, wow.
That is a great reception by Haas.
What a catch. I mean, I'm surprised he held on to the ball. He got hammered and he did a flip.
That's at least 20 yards right there. They're now at the 41. Clock's ticking. Now going down to 2:42.
Let's see what they're going to do here. Quarterback's out in shotgun. 2 people out back. It's going to be another play action pass. And drop.
Doesn't connect. A drop pass. I mean, excellent attempt by the quarterback. I mean, he was looking good. Had the open lane, but couldn't get much out of it.
I don't know who he's barking at. Well, he cannot be barking at the receiver. The receivers got clamped up.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want the receiver to do in that situation. Back in shotgun, 2:32 left to go in the first half. Gonna hand it off, and
the handoff doesn't gain much but 2. Puts them at now 3rd and 8.
2:23? The clock is ticking.
Getting close to the 2-minute warning.
Let's see what they're gonna do here.
At the 40-yard line.
What do you do here? Do you go for a run? Do you go for a pass?
I mean, I think that they should try to run it. But let's see if they can try to take advantage. But they're going to see if they're going to go for a pass.
And get it.
A complete pass. That puts them now at the 2-minute warning. And if I was Ole Miss, they got to start moving a little faster. I think that there needs to be more tenacity, more of
think
a
a sense
upper
of-
tempo,
sense of
some
urgency?
urgency. Because remember, you're going into the second half 0 to 2 possessions. That's not a good position you want to go into. At least try to go in with these last few minutes
he's
hot.
gonna-
And it goes to the wide receiver, but nothing much gain other than 4. Trinidad Chambliss, is trying to figure out how to get his teams open and really communicating so they can.
But he's got to give his receivers time to run their routes. You can't just get the ball out and thread on the beat already. I mean, come on, he's sending receivers up the field.
Well, let's see what he can do now. It's 2nd and 6. Chambliss is going to step back, gets him on the corner, and that's going to be a gain of 6. That puts it to 3rd and 2.
Well, at least they got out of bounds, so it stops the clock, so they don't have to use a timeout. 1:32 left to go in the first half.
If I were them, try to run it up the gap, maybe a half back in, and try to get a little bit of yards just to get the chains going. It doesn't have to be something.
Yeah, but if
great.
you don't want to use your timeouts, you get the ball out of bounds. Get to the
True.
sideline.
You try to get to the sideline, and exactly what I said. The halfback goes right up the middle, and that's a first down. Exactly what I said. You want to make sure you can try to get as close as you can now that you're in the red zone. And so with 1 minute and 27 seconds, they're going to try to see if they can do something here.
And they hand the ball off, and he's only going to get a few.
Another timeout for Texas. It's now their second timeout, 1 more remaining going into the half.
I'm assuming Texas wants to try to get the ball back. Let's see what they're going to do now. 2nd and goal, 1:24 left to go. And they're going to hand it off again, and he gets nowhere. And Texas probably going to use their last timeout.
That's probably going
Which
to be
they
3
do.
yards, so he didn't get that much. But with their last and final timeout, Ole Miss's best chance to maybe get 3 points on the board. They're going to try to see if they can move it just a bit more now that they're at the 3. It's 3rd and goal. To the half. Oh, no, the quarterback's going to hold on to it.
And he goes nowhere.
And that wasn't a good move.
Why didn't they try to throw the ball?
They should now go for a field goal, try to get 3 points, and
Before the half,
pick
yeah.
something. It's now about 1 minute to go, about to be 1 minute. And it looks like they're going to go for the field goal. This should be a pretty easy chip shot for 3.
Yeah, this should be at least going to points in some half. You're not taking the least, but at least you're going there with points. And
Picks it up.
And it's good.
And it's just what we expected. And now Ole Miss is on the board. It's 14-3.
Yep. I'm assuming that Texas is just going to just take this into the half. I don't see they're going to really do anything. There's nothing really. You still have a 2-possession lead, so you might as well just take it into the half.
Yeah, really good kick for number 89. A valiant effort for the defense, but they couldn't get the 6.
Yeah, that is true. They're going to kick this off. We're probably going to just take this to the half. And they're going to take the ball out. And he's going to get about maybe 10 or 15. Ball's going to be on the 22-yard line. 32 seconds left. I'm assuming, like I said, they're going to just run this ball and just take it to the half.
This should be the last major play we see here to run the clock down. And here it is. With that running play, they're going to run the 24 seconds remaining. And that should end the half.
Yeah. Again, Ole Miss, they really got to start adjusting in the second half. They really have to start clamping down on Texas, especially trying to get to the quarterback. Because if they keep playing like this,
I think they should be able to kneel. Will they get an extra play out? I'm surprised they're trying to go for an extra play.
and they do, they're going to throw it. And it's intercepted.
And I mean, it doesn't really do much, but that's not going to help your confidence going back to the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, but at least you got some momentum. Some momentum is better than no momentum. Well, folks, we'll be right back. We got to pay some bills, and we'll be right back after this. As we get to halftime, we see the target from Wingo. What do you think of the halftime so far as we've seen both teams play? What do you think so far? What is your overall assessment at the first half?
I mean, Texas is showing why they're, a pretty solid team. Don't let the ranking fool you. And for Ole Miss, they underachieved. I mean, the first half was pretty much Texas's game.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I really do. I think that they underachieved. This should have been a lot closer than 14-3. I think Ole Miss missed a lot of opportunities to try to take the lead on the board. And, sometimes time of possession matters when you barely hold on to the ball.
Oh, they did not. They should have just took a touchback for all that.
It's not really going to help them in the long run. But right now, it's Texas's ball. They're at the 14. And right now,
Oh, wow. Okay.
for a running play.
What a start.
Number 52 stops him.
What a start. I mean, look at that. I mean, they got to the quarterback. This is what they needed in the first half. Maybe this is their time they can really make the adjustments that they made and turn things around.
Right now, it's a loss of 5, so it's now 2nd and 15, and they're at the 9-yard line.
Let's see what they're going to do here. The quarterback's going to keep it.
Gonna hold on
it goes nowhere.
But again, not able to get the ball out.
Wow, this is a different Ole Miss than we've seen the first half. They're getting to the court. Like I said, they're getting to the quarterback. They're putting pressure on the quarterback. He had no time to go anywhere, and it's a loss of 2. Now it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, number 6 was really happy to make that stop back over to the line. And right now, they're really trying to get out of this hole right here. Manning gets the ball
and
out,
it's dropped.
Doesn't get much there. Nothing gained at all.
Wow, rare 3 and out.
3 and out, yeah.
Well, rare 3 and out for Texas as Ole Miss put the pressure on Arch, and I gotta hand to them. They did well. They got a 3 and out.
Well, if they keep on doing that and potentially try to generate some points, they can try to turn things around. And Texas is going to kick the ball out.
And it's going to be a fair catch.
It's going to be around the 45, close to the 45. They're at the 44.
We are well into the 3rd quarter. Texas is over Ole Miss 14-3 as they get the first down.
That was smooth. No one was there, and Hans was able to run off with it. And that's going to be another Rebels first down as it goes down to the 33 at this point, with 3 minutes and about 40 seconds remaining.
That is true. I mean, Ole Miss is working down the field. They're already in their territory. 3:30 left to go in the 3rd. Let's see what they're going to do here. They hand it off. It's going to be a handoff, and he goes nowhere.
Way too many white and orange defenders, and right there, it's going to be a loss of 2. It's now 2nd and 12 at the 35. And again, if you are Ole Miss, I mean, the defense shows that they can try to make some key stops when necessary, but it doesn't necessarily matter if you're not really getting points on the board. So they're going to have to try to generate some points on offense. Quarterback throws it out.
And he's going to get the first.
19, and that's going to be enough for a Rebels first down. Moving down the chain.
Is this their first time in the red zone today?
I think so, but if we have to wonder if they had many, red zone appearances, then yeah, it just shows that they really didn't make it far down the field.
Well, they are here now. It's now 1st and 10. Ball on the 22-yard line. They hand it off, quick screen pass, and they're gonna close. 2nd and 1.
Close. They'll be 2nd and 1.
8 and 9.
They're now at the 13-yard line.
Can they finally punch it in and make this a 1-possession game?
I mean, if they try to go for all this and only get to just 3 points, I mean, normally I would say, hey, that's not bad. That's pretty decent. But now you're at the 3rd quarter, so you got to start making some big moves now.
Let's see what they're going to do.
And now,
hand it back off.
Gets it to number 12.
And
keep on going near to the 1st.
He tried to turn the corner, but he didn't have enough, and it's going to be 3rd and 2.
And it's going to be on the 14, still near the red zone. They need to do something here. I mean, some people would say, hey, if they don't make anything here and they go to 4th and it's like 4th and 2, they probably should try to go for the field goal. But if I were them, I'm going to try to trust my offensive line and try to go for more yards as they move down the chain. But now it's 4th and 1. They're going to have to make a big decision.
I think they might just kick their 3 just to get the surefire points.
They're going to try to go for the sure thing. I mean, they're only 1 yard away for a first down.
That is true. Let's see what they're going to do here. And they're going for it.
I think they might be making the right decision, especially at this point in the game.
But if they don't make this could really backfire and come back to haunt them. Let's see. And
they couldn't hold on to the ball. What's more interesting is I believe number 13 was open, and the fact that he was just standing there like, hey, I'm right here, and couldn't find him. The wide receiver was open but couldn't do anything about it. Turnover and downs goes to Texas, but Texas can only get about 5 yards. That makes it now 2nd and 5.
I'm sorry. In a situation like that, you got to
Man.
come away with points. You got to come away with points.
Yeah, I mean, you were very clear that at least if you go for the field goal, that
You
puts
make it a
you
one
up to
possession
14
game.
to 6.
You make it a one possession game.
Try to climb your way back, get a key stop on defense. But
Now they got to do it all over again.
Texas is going to try to take advantage of it as we go to 1 minute left in the third.
What
screen
the
pass
hell was?
doesn't really do much for
He lost yards because of that.
for the Longhorns. In fact, that's a loss of a few yards. And now we're at 3rd and 8 with less than a minute to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't know what. I maybe it was a miscommunication. I don't know what it was, but that was a loss of 4. It's now 3rd and 8. Sorry, 3rd and 9. And what are they gonna do? What is he doing? Oh my goodness, ball's out!
Lets the
it's
ball
gonna
go.
score.
And the Rebels were at the right place and at the right time. And that's the touchdown they need to get this game close. And with that touchdown from that fumble, that forced fumble, with an extra point, they should be down by 4.
What a turn!
Look at this.
Look.
Number 15 knew that he was at the right place to let that ball loose, and number 1 takes advantage of it for a touchdown.
What a turn of events, and they're going for 2.
If they go for 2 and get it, they're going to be close. They'll just be down by 3. And they're going to run it to number 12, but
nothing.
they plugged it. Texas stopped it right there by number 99. But it is still a pretty close game, less than a possession.
I can't believe what happened. I mean, I thought they were gonna just, get a 3 and out. Not only did they cause a fumble, they got a scoop and score, and now it's a 1 possession game. It's wide. The game's wide open now. The game's wide open.
With about 35 seconds to go in the third quarter, Texas has the ball at the 21. Manning's going to give it up.
Handoff. Ooh,
The handoff is going to give you about 8 yards. No, maybe 9. So that's going to be 2nd and 1. And Texas is going to have to erase what was made by the Rebels to push it past a less than 1 possession game.
Well, we'll see. They're probably going to just wind this. No, they're going to try at least get one more play
they
before
try
the end
to
of the
sneak in
quarter.
a play to end the quarter.
So what they're going to do here
Try to
is
possibly run it.
2nd and 1. No,
Man
looks,
in motion there.
oh, they got a man in the
No, they
backfield.
got man. Yep, they run it, and so for there, that's going to be a first down.
And that is going to end the third quarter. We have a wide open game. Ole Miss is only down by a possession as we get ready for the fourth and final quarter. Score is 14-9.
And Ole Miss, although they had the ball for nearly 9 minutes, it's the passing that's really saving them to try to keep this game still at reach.
You have a point there. Let's see. It's anybody's game now. It is now 1st and 10. We start the fourth quarter. Once again, score is 14-9 Texas. Arch is back, man in motion. Let's see what they're going to do here.
Number 16, Manning steps back. Bam! And that's going to be a first down for the Longhorns.
That's going to put them exactly at midfield as they get the first down. Pretty aggressive to go for a really good pass. But, hey, if it's working, it's working.
Look how much space there was.
Exactly.
Right
I
there.
mean, where's the secondary? Nowhere to be found. As the ball is at midfield, 1st and 10 for Texas.
And now playing at a calm tempo, still trying to chew a little bit off the clock, gets it off, and that's going to be another first down.
As the chains keep moving, Ole Miss got to get a stop here if they want to stay in this game.
Very
if
crucial.
Texas gets another score here, the game might be out of reach. So defense really got to step up. Let's see what they're going to do here. It's 1st and 10. And what do you think Ole Miss has to do now with about 4 minutes left to go?
Don't give up the ball. Do not put yourself in a position where Texas is going to get that
Oh,
ball
no.
quick. But at this point, Texas is just going to keep on going on. Manning having a pretty decent day. He's throwing for 173 yards for 1 touchdown. If there's one thing that I'm very excited about this, is that Manning did he did everything but one thing that you don't want to do. He did not give away the ball. Right.
Well, besides that fumble.
I mean, aside from that fumble, he's not trying to throw the ball in the way where he's giving up
Besides the
interceptions.
fumble,
The fumble, yes. Aside from that, but that wasn't like an interception. That was just a forced fumble.
Right.
So as long as he's able to keep it safe in the air, he can try to do something about it. The passing rush right there is just something that Texas has been trying to avoid for most of the game and has been successful. But can they hold off with about less than 3 minutes to go in the game? And now gives it to number 5, tries to go for about 5 yards.
Oh no,
That's
I
gonna
don't
be a timeout
think
for
that
Ole
was
Miss.
smart for Ole Miss to call a
They
timeout
should
this early.
try to run the clock a little bit more. You get the 2-minute warning, so you don't have to burn a timeout this early. So
That might come back to haunt them because you need all your timeouts down the stretch.
especially when you're trailing in a game this tight. And Manning
And he gets it. It's a
had
touchdown.
enough time to find the receiver, Wengo, number 1, and the Longhorns is now going to move it up to 20, and it's 20-9. And for the Rebels, they were really hoping that Wengo wasn't open. Let's take a look at that play again. Manning, excellent timing, was able to connect to Wengo right up the middle, and that's going to give the Longhorns a comfortable lead as the game is less than 3 minutes to go from ending.
Well, Ole Miss cut it down to possession, and now Texas put it back up to 2 possessions with less than 2 minutes to go. Sorry, 2:47 left to go in the fourth. It's not looking good for Ole Miss.
Look at number 49 was able to chip it in, and that was an 8-play, 81-yard drive for 2 minutes and 48 seconds. And with 2 minutes and 47 seconds, do you think Ole Miss has enough time to try to bring themselves back in the game? Or do you think it's just not enough?
Let's see if they have a sense of urgency now. It's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left.
They're going to be playing very far.
And now they got to go
field.
basically the length of the field, 80 yards to get into the end zone.
At the 19, they're going to run it
Wait a minute.
up the middle, and that's going to be a first down by the Rebels. It keeps the clock going. And if I were them, the Rebels, you got to move with some speed here. You got to move with some hustle because the clock is running.
And like I said,
you don't want to burn another timeout.
You got to move with a sense of urgency.
Before the 2-minute warning.
They have to score on this drive. This is the game right here. If they don't score on this drive, the game's over.
Yeah, that's a very fair assessment because they won't have enough time. I mean, if you're Texas and they get the ball back, especially with under 2 minutes to go, they just got to run the clock
And
down.
you got to get out of bounds.
Here we are now. That was a gain of 4.
But that's going to pretty much take us to the 2-minute warning. They got to score quick. They got to. If they want to at least get the ball back, you still got 2 timeouts. So
Right.
you want to score quickly and you want to be able to get back on defense to get a stop because all you need is 1 stop. And time is really right now is not on your side.
I absolutely agree with that assessment. And right now, the Rebels, they're going to be playing off the 30, near the 36, actually. And for the Rebels, they've been pretty decent in the air. Will it continue?
He drops back.
Stepping back, and that connects.
Smart.
And that's going to stop the clock, and it's putting them at the 41.
He didn't get the first, but the good thing is he stopped the clock.
It's third and manageable. I mean, this is something where if they can trust their halfback and try to sneak it in for at least a yard or 2, again, it moves the chain.
Yeah, but then you might have to call a timeout, or you might have to spike the ball.
Or try to spike the ball, but at least you are not turning the ball over. And again, running the ball, number 6 holds on to it, gets the first
Why didn't
down.
he go out of?
Doesn't go out of bounds, so that means the clock. But well, then again, the clock stops because that was a first down. They'll be at the 50-yard line.
the clock is going.
But now it's going to start. And so with Trinidad Chambliss holding
just went
on to
out.
the ball, he's more concerned about getting the first down, and that I can understand.
You don't have
But you
time.
got to get out and try to stop the clock as well. With 1:37 to go, throws it deep.
And it's
It will
bad.
not connect. It actually connects, and that's a touchdown for the Rebels. I thought that was just fumbled off the top of the helmet, but the Rebels were able to recover it, and that's going to be a touchdown. It's now 21
We
to 15.
gotta see this again.
Stribling, the wide receiver number 1. I thought that just rolled off of his helmet for an incomplete pass, but take a look at this. He was able to get the deflection, grab the ball, and make it to the end zone. And so now, if they try to go for the extra point, which I think they should do, if they've learned their lesson the last time, that would make it a game where the Longhorns are up by 4 with 1:32 remaining in the fourth. So yes, they're going to go for the extra point, which I think is obviously the right move. And with this kick, it is good, and it's going to be now 21 to 16. We have a game. They're not out yet.
Yeah, but they got to get a stop. They only got 2 timeouts.
I mean, if they can get an onside kick and recover the ball, they can try to make something. That's the strat, but it doesn't work. The Longhorns are going to hold on to the ball at the 38-yard line. Williams was able to recover it. And if I was Texas, force Ole Miss to use out their timeouts and just run the ball. But they're going to throw the screen and doesn't get much gain. And now the timeout was used by the Rebels.
Yeah,
that's going to be their last timeout.
The problem is
soon to be last timeout.
The problem is if they do get another stop and call timeout, that fourth down they can't stop the clock.
Of course, but that's a calculated risk. But you do realize if they run the ball, which they do, they have to make that decision. Of course, that is the right call. You got to use that timeout. Because if they run the ball, they can just run the clock and it's all over. So the stop has to happen here. It's now 3rd and 12 at the 41. If they can get a stop here, maybe they can try to get the ball back. But Manning is going to keep looking, gets the receiver, number 88.
They do stop him.
And it's a stop, which means for Texas, they can try to chip shot this to try to push the game even further as they take the lead 21-16.
Well, if they get a field goal, this game is pretty much over.
It'll be 24-16. It's not exactly over. If they can try to get the ball for a touchdown and maybe an extra 2 points, it will change things, but that's a long reach.
And I mean, with less than 30 seconds,
and that was the field goal they needed. So that's going to
put happening.
Yeah, I mean, the window is ridiculously small, but it's not mathematically out of reach unless they just can't materialize with less than a minute to go. And that's a very tall order, right? Because we're talking about you got to get the ball back, you got to make it down the field quickly, you're going to have to go for 2, and you would have to get an onside kick.
Bro, how are you gonna
That's
do that
a lot in 35 seconds.
With no timeouts.
With no timeouts. That
and why would you take it out? You should have just took a knee.
You should have just stopped the clock right there from taking the knee. And now they're at 32 seconds at the 26-yard line. If they're going to have to throw it out, it has to be super deep, not these mid-range passes right up the middle. They're not going out to the sidelines to try to stop the clock. This is not smart management by the Rebels.
Look,
and it's going to cost them the game.
Anyway, Texas is going to pull this out 24-16.
That's going to cost them the game. And that right there, they're going to have time for maybe one more play. I don't know what's going on. They're not moving with the sense of urgency necessary to try to keep themselves. They gave up this game with 5 seconds to go.
This over.
They're not going to, I think they're going to go now and think to themselves, why didn't we move with some energy? This is something that when they go back to their locker room, in fact, when they go back to Mississippi, they're going to be wondering, what were we thinking? Player of the game goes to Wingo. The wide receiver was able to pull off a touchdown. And, I mean, again, Wingo showed us that in any tough jam, he's going to come through by getting the ball up in the air. He's player of the game. And, again, Texas continues to go undefeated. They're 3-0. For the Rebels, they're going to end up 2-1.
Well, folks, thank you for joining us on another edition of the CFT for College Football 26. Once again, the final score, Texas 24, Ole Miss 16. Well, catch us on again in the next episode. This is that other guy alongside my broadcast partner, Brownsville Gamer.
And please don't forget, if you like the content that you've been watching, please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment. We love to hear your thoughts. From all of us here at BVG, have a great rest of your day and enjoy the rest of our content. We'll be right back. We'll be right back once again as we continue the CFT. Be well, everybody.
Have a good night, folks.
See ya. All right.